Okay, so remember all the Super Bowl talk that surrounded the Cardinals? That was fun. And the playoff talk right here, that belongs somewhere over here. And you can let that breathe. It's breathing pretty hard, too. Right here, we talk reality. Let's just focus on maybe just winning a football game. Yeah, we're currently at the Diablo's Cantina right here, right outside the Monte Carlo. I came all the way to Vegas, and like you know me, I'm hip to a good party. You're trying to come out here, find a great party. I mean, look at the view that we have right over Las Vegas Strip right here, but it's actually dead. I mean, I could not find one single I'm lying. They're all right here. They came out in droves. Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Dave Cooney. Okay, so during the college football preseason, I mean, we all knew Arizona wasn't going to the playoff. But on the other end, I mean, we all knew they weren't going to lose 7 straight games. What do we know? I mean, well, you see how I said we. I got to have some company out there. Today, though, was the perfect Diamondback cocktail. You had 1 part Granky, 1 part Goldie, a splash of history, served up with a win. It's really easy to sip on. Anybody thirsty out there? Yes. And if I were to make you one, here's how it would look. But you know, it's okay to talk about Boise State and their history in the Fiesta Bowl. I mean, heck, it's right there in the media guide. History of the Fiesta Bowl, and right there on the cover was former Boise State head coach Chris Peterson. But you want to know what, folks? He's not at Boise State anymore. He's at Washington. Bear down, Cooney. And you know, you've heard the whole desperate teams can be scary teams. Okay, so typically, desperate teams, they're losing teams, and they remain desperate. Buffalo came into today desperate. Arizona left scary. And then 2 other things in regard to David Johnson, and he juiced it up a little bit. He said he's never seen anything quite like it. Of course, he's just given some added props to his teammate. And as for that interception, when asked, you know, if he needed it and he needed to cut the way that he did, he said no, but you could tell he did with that little bit of a smile. So now the Cards are 3-3, right where they wanted to be, with 2 wins in a row as we move forward here. From the University of Phoenix Stadium, I'm Dave Cooney for KOLD News 13 Sports, live, local, late breaking. We'll start here. Not with the selfie stick, by the way. But during a 37-year drought for a Triple Crown winner, finally we got one last year. And it was a local who trained the pony that rewrote the history book. And talk of back-to-back Triple Crowns, it would be crazy talk. But it would be fun.
Is speaking to someone who knows a thing or 2 or 10 about dealing with a team's inconsistency. Dave.
You guys actually might recognize a couple of my guests. Let's just take a look. Appropriately, we're at Miller's Ale House. We're just off the Strip. We're here at a book signing, and a couple of the authors I think you might know very well. Anthony Gimino, our own digital beat writer. Steve Rivera, who we talk to all the time for GoEasyCats.com. That gentleman down there, you might recognize Salim Stoudemire, former Wildcat, and right next to me, the Hall of Famer, Lute Olson. We get to catch up when we're down here in Vegas. It's always a fun time. Good to see you, by the way, Coach.
Well, thank you, Dave. It's nice to see you, too.
You know, there's a lot of things that worry me about the D-backs. But how about this one? Chip Hale's sanity, right? I mean, they lost 6 in a row. They won 5 in a row. Then lost 4 in a row coming into the day. So one week the sky is falling, the next week you're a genius. So what would we have today? The D-backs trying to avoid the Swiss.
Dave Cooney standing by with a very special guest. Dave.
Yeah, kind of a unique opportunity to come inside in the Wildcats locker room and get to talk to one of the players. Obviously not the time or place we would want to do it in a loss, but Mark, you're part of that last play right there. I asked you earlier how many times you had to look to the monitor. You said you didn't?
No, I didn't. You know, I was trying to focus on what I was about to do.
It's a lot of the younger generation, they seem to rally around this, and a lot of them don't get it. So I guess what do you tell to that younger generation who are either get it or really don't get it?
Ring the chimes of freedom.
You know, Eddie George, at one time, ruled college football's biggest stage. The guy won the Heisman in 1995. When he went to the pros, he was a 4-time Pro Bowler. But now, this is Eddie's stage as his retirement plays out.
Is everybody here? Is everybody ready?
The lifestyle of professional sports, it's intoxicating. It's addicting.
And when it ends, filling that enormous void is definitely a challenge for pro athletes when they got to hang them up.
And you know, you hear the adage that yes, athletes experience 2 deaths.
For years, he filled the role of playmaker on a team. And yeah, this is still the case, but the setting has definitely changed.
Cashmere coats, diamond rings.
George now dresses the part of Billy Flynn in the Broadway musical Chicago.
Give 'em the old razzle dazzle.
The silver-tongued prince, teasing the devil. I think we all have that in us.
Hiya, Trixie.
Rehearsing complicated play calls, it's always challenging.
Got himself one big-time block.
But this play demands maybe more range.
6 feet under,
But she was granted one more step.
the convent of the Sacred Heart.
From Heisman to potentially the Hall of Fame to now Renaissance man, George is still adding to his career resume. How sweaty is that suit when you get done with that?
Oh, if I don't have a good sweat, if I'm not drenched, I didn't do my job.
For KOLD News 13 Sports, I'm Dave Cooney, live local 8 breaking.